The more time you spend at the swingers club, the more time you spend at the sauna, the more you got to know the regular customers. Not just what they liked and where they liked to go. You got to know them on a personal level. You got to know who their family was and how their relationship was with their family. And they did the same with me. This one particular individual named Seb. When he would come in all the time, he was mostly good, but he had a lot of issues. He was eventually banned from the sauna. But I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about this one particular night when Seb came into the sauna. He walked in and was completely distraught, crying, completely distraught, completely upset. I tried to calm him down. I said, Seb, what's going on? Are you okay? What happened? He begins to tell me what happened. Seb had a dynamic relationship with his mother and father. The mother and father knew Seb was gay, but Seb never officially came out to the mother and father. The father was accepting of Seb, but the mother was not. He would go out to dinner with the mother about once a week, and any time or any chance the mother got to bash the gay community, she would. If she was to see or think she saw someone that was gay, she would make sure to say, look at that homo, look at that faggot, to put down Seb, to try to change Seb from who he was. Seb would always bite his tongue, never say anything to the mother. That was their relationship, and that was their normal night out once a week. This one night, they went out to the Versace mansion. Seb's family had a lot of money, Seb did not. They would always go to nice fancy restaurants. When they went to the Versace mansion, they were having a nice dinner. It was just Seb and the mother. They were having a good time, having a few drinks, relaxing and talking. It's when they left, that's when the problem occurred. They paid the bill, they get up to go leave the restaurant, and they leave, and now they're standing on the sidewalk waiting for their car. When they're standing on the sidewalk, two gentlemen walk right past in front of the mother. One of the gentlemen was wearing a skirt. The other gentleman was wearing a tight leather outfit from neck to ankle, and on his shoes, on his feet, he had these black leather pumps. The mother stops the two gentlemen, stops them, and says, what are you faggots doing here? Homos need to go somewhere else. She screams it at them while she stops them. The two gentlemen don't say anything. They take the drink they had in their hand and flung it all over the mother's face. The mother looks at Seb for Seb to come back the mother up, but Seb does not. Seb stands with the two gentlemen. He puts one hand on one shoulder, puts the other hand on the other shoulder of both gentlemen, and says, see these two faggots, Mom? He says, I am a faggot, Mom. I am gay. That's how he came out to the mother. The mother looks up at Seb and says, no, Seb, no. Seb says, yes, Mom, yes. The mother walks one direction away, and Seb walks the other direction away. Growth and positivity never come in the form in which we wish. It's always delivered and packaged in the most painful life experiences. Seb came into the sauna that night, and I know he was a wreck. I know he cried. I know he was dealing with a lot. Seb was also covering up his anger, his frustration with vices. I'll tell you about that in another story, but Seb was eventually banned, and I do feel for Seb, but that's not how you grow. That is not how you grow. Anybody who conducts themselves in a manner that is detrimental to the evolution of their character is not being a friend. Doesn't mean they can never be a friend, but at that time, they're not being a friend. To self-inflict or go through these experiences either way. It's better to self-inflict. It's better to seek growth on your own rather than life having to humble you. I was the perfect example. I was a smile now, cry later mentality. The foolish fool. I was there. I was in it. I'm just sharing what worked for me. What worked for me is getting in front of that mirror and calling myself a bitch. Committed people can be good at anything. Committed people can be good at negative things or positive things. For a while, I was committed to negative things. I flipped my life. When I changed my perspective, when I got in front of that mirror, that's when I started to change. I'm never going to placate to people who get mad about these stories. These stories are insignificant. These stories are my stories. I'm just sharing what worked for me. It's better to call yourself a bitch. That way no one has to call you one. It's not too late for you. If you have forgiven one person for one thing, you can be forgiven for everything. But who cares if someone doesn't forgive you? Forgive yourself to gain inner peace. You gain inner peace by forgiving yourself. You forgive yourself through positive acts. You forgive yourself through conducting yourself in the opposite manner which made you disrespect yourself in the first place. Build yourself. Make yourself a flawless character. People will want to be around you, be drawn to you. And if someone messes up, don't point the finger. Show them love. Forgive them. Accept them. That's when they listen. They don't listen when you point the finger. They think they're too deep to come back. You think you're too deep and don't give a shit and push yourself away even more. Don't do that. Same situation with Seb and the mother. Seb would run to vices out of his frustration, and the mother would make these terrible remarks to her son out of her frustration until it finally exploded. After the dust settles, there should be growth if Seb doesn't run to his vices. I banned Seb from the club because he ran to those vices. If you want to save someone, if you want to save yourself, show them love. To not believe people aren't going to mess up is to not even believe in human nature in the first place. To cure that negativity, show them love. Your only strength is love. When you get to know yourself, you get to know other people really well. If someone says something about you and you feel a certain way, it's because you're it. And just because you're it right now doesn't mean you have to be it in the next moment. If something stings, change it. You know, I know,